The money secrets they don't want you to know classified. Delete this after watching. What you are about to hear has been deliberately hidden from you. Not by accident, by design. The financial system you were taught to trust was never built to serve you. It was built to extract from you. The rules you were told to follow were never meant to make you wealthy. They were meant to keep you dependent. But today, the vault opens. Today you discover the 15 classified money secrets that separate the 1% from everyone else. These are not theories. These are not motivational speeches. These are tactical realities that the wealthy guard jealously. I'm sharing this once. After you finish watching, this information either changes your life forever, or you return to the comfortable illusion that the system is fair. Before we begin, hit the like button so this message reaches more people who are ready for the truth. And comment below which country you're watching from. Let's build a global community of those who refuse to stay blind. Now, let us unveil what they never wanted you to know. Chapter 1. The Debt Deception Secret Number 1. Debt is not your enemy. It is your weapon. But they taught you to fear it. From childhood, you were programmed. Don't owe anyone anything. Debt is dangerous. Stay debt-free. This teaching keeps you poor. It keeps you safe. It keeps you small. Meanwhile, every billionaire, every wealthy dynasty, every empire was built on massive debt. Not the credit card debt they sell you, not the consumer debt that enslaves you, but strategic debt, leverage debt, debt that creates assets. Marcus believed the programming. He saved for 20 years to buy a rental property with cash. No debt, no risk, safe. When he finally purchased it, the property generated modest returns. Across town, David borrowed money to purchase 5 properties the same year. Yes, he had debt. But he had 5 income streams while Marcus had 1. After 10 years, David owned 15 properties. Marcus still owned 1. The difference? David understood that good debt is money working for you. Marcus believed debt is something you owe. One multiplied wealth, the other hoarded safety. The wealthy use APM, other people's money. They borrow at low interest to invest at high return. The spread is profit. The borrowed money amplifies results. This is the first secret they don't teach in school because workers don't need leverage. Only wealth builders do. The system wants you debt-free in assets and drowning in consumer debt. New cars, credit cards, student loans for degrees that create employees, not entrepreneurs. This debt enslaves, the other debt liberates. Learn to distinguish between bad debt that buys liabilities and good debt that buys assets. Master this, and you've unlocked what 95% never will. Chapter 2. The Inflation Theft Secret Number 2. Your savings account is not saving you. It is robbing you silently every single day. They told you to save money. Put it in the bank. Be responsible. Earn 1% interest and feel secure. Meanwhile, inflation runs at 4 to 7% annually. Your money loses value faster than it grows. This is not an accident. This is a feature of the system. Every year you keep cash sitting in savings, you lose purchasing power. What could buy $100 of goods today will buy $93 of goods next year. Keep saving for 10 years, and you've lost 40% of your wealth to inflation. The bank thanks you. The government thanks you. You got robbed by doing what you were told was responsible. Christina learned this painfully. She saved $70,000 over 15 years, felt proud, felt secure. Then she tried to buy a house. The same house that cost $150,000 when she started saving now cost $300,000. Her savings doubled, but prices tripled. She actually went backwards by being responsible. The wealthy don't save cash. They convert cash immediately into assets that appreciate faster than inflation. Real estate, businesses, stocks, commodities, anything that outpaces the silent theft of currency devaluation. Your parents' generation could save money and build wealth. That economy is dead. Today, savers are losers. Only investors win. The rules changed, but nobody told the middle class. They want you saving in banks so they can lend your money to others at higher rates while your purchasing power evaporates. Cash is a tool for transaction, not storage. The moment you receive money, deploy it into appreciating assets. This is how wealth is protected in an inflationary system. Stay liquid only for immediate needs. Everything else goes to work. Stop saving. Start investing. Or watch inflation steal your future. Chapter 3. The Tax Advantage, Secret Number 3. The tax code is written by the rich, for the rich. And if you learn their language, you legally pay almost nothing. Employees pay the highest taxes. They earn money, and immediately the government takes 30 to 40% before they even see it. No escape. No shelter. Maximum extraction. Business owners and investors play a different game entirely. They pay taxes last on what's left after expenses. They write off cars, homes, travel, meals, education. Their lifestyle becomes tax deductible. The government subsidizes their wealth building. Raymond earned $100,000 as an employee, took home $60,000 after taxes, struggled to build wealth with what remained. His brother Raymond earned $100,000 through his business, wrote off $40,000 in business expenses, paid taxes on $60,000, took home $75,000, same income, $15,000 more wealth accumulation every single year. Over 20 years, this difference compounds to millions, not from earning more, but from keeping more. The tax code rewards business owners and investors. It punishes employees. This is intentional design. Capital gains are taxed lower than income. Businesses get deductions employees never see. Real estate investors can defer taxes indefinitely through strategies like 1031 exchanges. The ultra-wealthy pay single-digit tax rates while the middle class pays 30% plus. This is not about cheating or hiding money. This is about understanding the rules as written. The tax code is an instruction manual for wealth building. But they only teach it to those who can afford expensive accountants and lawyers. Everyone else pays maximum rates and thinks it's fair. If you earn through employment only, you are playing the game on hard mode with maximum penalties. Shift income to business or investment structures, and suddenly legal tax advantages appear everywhere. The system is designed to reward wealth builders and tax wage earners. Stop being the latter. Become the former. Chapter 4. The Time Trap Secret Number 4. Trading time for money is the trap they want you in forever. Escape requires building assets that work without you. You were taught a simple equation. Work hard, get paid. Work more hours, make more money. This equation has a ceiling. 24 hours in a day. Even at $1,000 per hour, your maximum is limited. The wealthy abandoned this equation decades ago. They build systems that generate money while they sleep. Rental properties, businesses, intellectual property, investments. These assets work around the clock without their presence. Teresa worked 60-hour weeks as a consultant, earned $200,000 annually, felt successful. Until she got sick and couldn't work. Income stopped immediately. 1 month of illness destroyed 3 months of savings. Her friend Pauline earned $150,000 from rental properties and online businesses. She took 3 months off to recover from surgery. Her income continued. The properties still collected rent. The businesses still operated. Her absence didn't pause her wealth. One traded time for money. The other built assets that produce money independent of time. When the crisis came, one was vulnerable. The other was protected. Every hour you work for someone else is an hour not spent building your own assets. The employee mindset says, work hard and you'll get ahead. The wealth mindset says, build assets that work hard so you don't have to. This doesn't mean quit your job tomorrow. It means start redirecting time and money into building income-producing assets. Start small. One rental property, one online business, one investment portfolio, anything that generates cash flow independent of your direct labor. The goal is not to stop working. The goal is to make work optional. To reach the point where your assets generate enough passive income to cover expenses. Then your job becomes choice, not necessity. Most people will work for 40 years and retire broke because they never escaped the time for money trap. Don't be most people. Build assets. Compound returns. Create independence. Chapter 5. The Network Effect Secret Number 5. Your network determines your net worth, and the wealthy actively keep you out of theirs. There are rooms where deals happen that will never be advertised, opportunities discussed that will never appear online, investments available that the public never sees. Access to these rooms requires the right network. The wealthy build networks intentionally. They join exclusive clubs, attend private events, invest in relationships with other wealth creators. These networks generate opportunities worth millions. They share deal flow, insider knowledge, and partnership opportunities. Meanwhile, most people network with colleagues at the same income level, friends from childhood, and family members who think the same way they do. These networks provide comfort, but rarely opportunity. Gerald spent 15 years trying to build wealth alone, reading books, taking courses, working hard. Progress was slow. Then he invested $10,000 to join a mastermind of successful investors. Within 6 months, he was offered 3 partnership opportunities he would never have found alone. One of them generated more profit in year 1 than he'd made in the previous 5 years combined. The price of admission seemed expensive. The return was priceless, because in that room were people who saw opportunities differently, who had access to capital, who understood strategies he'd never considered. Your current network represents your current results. If you want different results, you need a different network. This requires investment, discomfort, and sometimes leaving behind relationships that no longer serve your growth. The wealthy stay wealthy partly because they network with other wealthy people. Information flows, opportunities circulate, resources are shared. They create an ecosystem of mutual elevation. Break into that ecosystem, and your trajectory changes permanently. Stay in your comfortable network, and your results stay the same. Invest in access. Join masterminds, attend high-level events, build relationships with people ahead of you. Your network is the invisible multiplier that either accelerates or limits everything else you do. Chapter 6. The Attention Economy Secret Number 6. They are buying your attention and selling it for billions. While you scroll for free, they build empires on your time. The most valuable commodity in the world is not gold, oil, or real estate. It is human attention, and you give yours away every single day for nothing. Every minute you spend on social media, streaming services, or endless news feeds is a minute someone else monetizes. They sell your attention to advertisers. They harvest your data and sell it to companies. They keep you scrolling while building billion-dollar valuations. Your attention is worth money, just not to you, to them. Melissa spent 3 hours daily on social media. scrolling, liking, commenting. Her excuse was relaxation. Her reality was she was working for free for tech billionaires. 3 hours a day equals 90 hours a month. 1,000 hours per year. What could you build with 1,000 hours? A business, a skill, an investment portfolio, a side income. Melissa built nothing except someone else's wealth. Meanwhile, Daniel used those same 3 hours to build an online business. After 1 year, it generated $3,000 monthly in passive income. After 3 years, it replaced his salary. Same time investment. Radically different outcome. The system wants you distracted, entertained, consuming. Because consumers are profitable and creators are competition. They need you watching their content, buying their products, building their wealth. Every successful person guards their attention ruthlessly. They understand time is finite, and attention is the currency of that time. They invested in learning, building, and creating rather than consuming, scrolling, and spectating. Ask yourself, are you building your empire or funding someone else's? Are you creating assets or consuming content? Are you investing attention or wasting it? The average person spends 6 hours daily on screens. Redirect just 2 of those hours into wealth-building activities, and your life transforms within 3 years. Reclaim your attention. It's the most valuable asset you own. Chapter 7. The Knowledge Asymmetry Secret Number 7. The gap between what the wealthy know and what you know is worth trillions. And they invest heavily in keeping that gap wide. Financial education is not taught in schools. This is not an oversight. It is intentional design. Workers don't need to understand money, investing, or wealth building. They need to understand obedience, punctuality, and following instructions. The wealthy receive private education in finance, investing, and wealth management from childhood. They learn about trusts, tax strategies, asset protection, and compound interest at the dinner table. This knowledge compounds over generations. You were taught to get good grades, find a stable job, and save for retirement in a 401k that you don't control. They were taught to build businesses, invest in assets, and create generational wealth through structures you've never heard of. Emily graduated with honors, followed all the rules, got the stable job, saved diligently. At 55, her retirement account had $300,000. She'd need it to last 30 years. It wouldn't be enough. Her college roommate Victoria skipped traditional employment, spent her 20s learning about real estate investing, built a portfolio of properties, and retired at 45 with passive income exceeding $100,000 annually. Forever. Same intelligence, same starting point, different knowledge, different outcome. The knowledge Emily needed was never taught in school because school prepares employees, not investors. The wealthy invest in education constantly. Courses, coaches, seminars, masterminds. They see learning as the highest return investment. The poor think education stops after college. The wealthy know it's just beginning. Information is everywhere, but knowledge is rare. You can Google anything, but wisdom requires investment. The wealthy pay for concentrated knowledge from those who have results. The poor look for free information and wonder why their results don't change. If you're not investing at least 10% of your income in your financial education, you're choosing to stay exactly where you are. The gap between what you know and what you need to know is the gap between your current results and your potential results. Close the knowledge gap. Invest in learning. The return is unlimited. Chapter 8. The Perception Manipulation Secret Number 8. Rich people are not who you think they are, and that misperception keeps you from becoming one. The wealthy person you imagine drives flashy cars, wears designer clothes, and lives in mansions. This is the image media sells you. It's also usually broke. Real wealth is invisible. The actual wealthy drive modest cars, live below their means, and look ordinary. They understand that looking rich and being rich are opposite strategies. Thomas drove a leased luxury car, wore expensive watches, and rented a luxury apartment to appear successful. His business contacts were impressed. His bank account was empty. Every dollar went to funding the image. He looked rich and was drowning in debt. His competitor Sarah drove a 10-year-old Honda, dressed normally, and lived in a modest house. People underestimated her constantly. Her bank account had 7 figures. She invested everything in assets, not image. The perception manipulation serves 2 purposes. First, it keeps you pursuing the wrong goal. You chase the image of wealth rather than building actual wealth. Second, it makes you think wealthy people are different from you. Special, lucky, out of reach. They're not. Most millionaires are self-made. Most live in normal neighborhoods. Most are disciplined, boring, and consistent. They became wealthy by focusing on substance over image, assets over appearance. The system benefits when you pursue the appearance of wealth because that pursuit keeps you broke. Expensive cars depreciate. Designer clothes have no return. Luxury lifestyles require constant income with no asset building. Meanwhile, the invisible wealthy accumulate assets quietly. They buy rental properties instead of luxury cars. They invest in businesses instead of designer brands. They build wealth in silence while others perform wealth for applause. Stop trying to look rich. Start trying to be rich. The first is expensive and temporary. The second is affordable and permanent. Chapter 9. The Delayed Gratification Advantage, Secret number 9. The ability to delay gratification is the single greatest predictor of wealth, and they train you to want everything now. Every advertisement, every marketing message, every credit card offer is designed to make you consume immediately. Buy now, pay later. 0% financing, limited time offer. The entire system is engineered to destroy your ability to wait. Why? Because delayed gratification builds wealth. Immediate gratification builds their wealth. The famous marshmallow experiment proved this. Children who could wait 15 minutes for 2 marshmallows instead of eating one immediately grew up to be more successful in every measurable way. The ability to delay was more predictive than IQ or family background. Kevin earned $80,000 annually and spent $75,000. Every paycheck disappeared on immediate wants. New phone, weekend trips, restaurant meals, streaming services. He was always broke, despite good income. 30 years later, he had nothing but memories. His brother Marcus earned $70,000 and spent $50,000. The difference went to investments. He delayed gratification on things that didn't matter to compound wealth in things that did. 30 years later, he was financially independent. The difference was not income. It was patience. The ability to say not now so you can say yes forever later. Wealth building requires planting seeds and waiting for harvest. It requires investing today for returns tomorrow. It requires trading temporary pleasure for permanent security. The wealthy master this naturally. They delay personal luxury to build assets. They reinvest profits rather than spending them. They think in decades, while others think in days. If you cannot delay gratification, you cannot build wealth. The two are inseparable. Every time you choose immediate consumption over investment, you're voting for current pleasure over future freedom. Train yourself to wait. Practice on small things. Build the muscle. Your future self will thank you. Chapter 10. The Risk Reversal Secret number 10. The biggest risk is not taking risks, but they taught you safety is smart. From childhood you learned that risk equals danger. Play it safe. Don't gamble. Choose security. This programming creates comfortable poverty. The irony, the safe path of employment, saving in banks, and relying on pensions is actually the highest risk strategy in today's economy. Companies downsize, banks fail, pensions disappear. The safe path offers zero control. Real risk is having one income source you don't control. Real risk is trading time for money with no leverage. Real risk is following a path that millions have walked into comfortable mediocrity. Jennifer chose the safe path. Corporate job, steady paycheck, benefits, security, 20 years of loyalty. Then the company restructured. She was let go at 52. No business skills, no network, no backup plan. The safe path had led to a cliff. Her friend Angela took risks, started businesses. Some failed, some succeeded, built multiple income streams. At 52, one business slowed down. Didn't matter. She had 4 others. Her risky path had created true security through diversification. The wealthy understand that real security comes from skills, networks, and assets you control, not from the illusion of job security in a system that can discard you instantly. Taking calculated risks is not gambling. It's investing in upside. The potential gain is unlimited. The potential loss is limited to what you invest. In employment, the upside is capped at your salary. The downside is losing everything when they decide you're disposable. Reframe risk. The biggest risk is staying where you are, building nothing, learning nothing, depending on systems you don't control. Take smart risks, start small, learn fast, build resilience. This is how wealth is created, not by playing it safe, but by learning to navigate uncertainty with skill. Chapter 11. The Energy Investment Secret number 11. Your energy is your most valuable resource. The wealthy protect it ruthlessly. You waste it freely. You have limited energy each day. How you invest it determines everything. The poor spend energy on drama, complaints, and low-value activities. The wealthy guard their energy like dragons guard gold. Energy drains come in many forms. Toxic relationships that require constant management, jobs that exhaust without reward, social media that stimulates without satisfaction, news that triggers without empowering, entertainment that numbs without restoring. Each of these bleeds energy that could build wealth. Richard worked a high-stress job that paid well, but drained him completely. He came home exhausted, unable to do anything beyond streaming television until sleep. He had no energy left to build a side business, learn new skills, or invest in growth. His job was paying him while simultaneously ensuring he could never escape it. His neighbor Patricia earned less, but preserved energy ruthlessly. She eliminated draining relationships, reduced news consumption, and protected her mornings for high-value activities. With her preserved energy, she built a consulting business that doubled her income in 2 years. The wealthy understand that making money requires energy. Building businesses requires energy. Learning requires energy. Investing wisely requires energy. If you're constantly drained, you cannot build wealth regardless of knowledge or opportunity. Energy management is wealth management. Audit where your energy goes. Cut ruthlessly what drains without return. Invest heavily in what energizes and builds. Say no to people who exhaust you. Say no to activities that deplete you. Say no to information that triggers anxiety without action. Say yes only to what either energizes or builds wealth. You cannot be available to everyone and build wealth. You cannot consume endless content and create value. You cannot solve everyone's problems and solve your financial situation. Protect your energy. It's the fuel that powers everything. Without it, knowledge is useless and opportunity is invisible. Chapter 12. The Compound Effect, Secret Number 12. Small, consistent actions compound into extraordinary results. But they teach you to look for shortcuts. Everyone wants the secret hack, the overnight success, the sudden breakthrough. These are mirages that keep you chasing instead of building. Real wealth is built through boring consistency. Investing a percentage every month for 30 years, learning one new skill per quarter, building one relationship per week. These unsexy actions compound into extraordinary results. Warren Buffett became one of the richest humans not through brilliant trades, but through consistent investing over 7 decades. The magic was not the strategy. It was time plus consistency plus compound returns. Lisa wanted to get rich quick. She jumped from strategy to strategy, looking for the breakthrough. Cryptocurrency this month, day trading next month, real estate after that. 10 years later, she'd started dozens of things and mastered nothing. Her net worth was barely higher than when she began. Her friend Donna chose one path, real estate investing. She bought one property per year. Nothing fancy, nothing dramatic, just consistent action. 10 years later, she owned 12 properties, generating significant passive income. The boring approach had created the breakthrough Lisa kept searching for. Compound interest is called the 8th wonder of the world for a reason. Small amounts invested consistently become massive over time. But most people never see it because they quit before the curve goes vertical. The first few years show minimal results. This is when most people quit. They don't see the power building beneath the surface. But if you persist, year 10 looks dramatically different than year 3. And year 20 is almost unbelievable compared to year 10. This applies to money, skills, relationships, health, everything. Consistency beats intensity. Duration beats timing. Patience beats cleverness. Stop looking for shortcuts. Start building consistently. The compound effect is working for or against you every single day based on your small choices. Make the boring right choice repeatedly and watch extraordinary results emerge. Chapter 13. The System Leverage Secret Number 13. The wealthy build systems that work without them. You work in someone else's system. An employee works in a system created by an owner. The employee trades time and effort for predictable pay. The owner gets the unlimited upside. This is not evil. This is design. The system was built to reward system creators, not system users. Every hour you work as an employee, you're building someone else's wealth. Your time, energy, and skills are inputs into their profit machine. They pay you enough to keep you, but never enough to leave. Anthony was the top salesperson at his company, generated millions in revenue, earned solid commissions, felt successful. Then, his company was sold. New owners changed the commission structure. His income dropped 40% overnight. He had no control because he worked in their system. His colleague Rebecca took a different approach. She spent evenings building her own business while employed, used the security of a paycheck to reduce risk. After 3 years, her business generated enough income to leave employment. She went from working in someone's system to owning her own. System leverage means creating processes that generate value without requiring your direct time. Hiring people, using technology, building intellectual property, creating assets that work around the clock. 1 hour of system building can generate unlimited returns. 1 hour of employment generates 1 hour of pay. This is why the wealthy focus on system creation while employees focus on task completion. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow. But you must start building your own system. Even 15 minutes daily compounds. Even small systems grow. The goal is ownership. Own something. A business, a product, a service, intellectual property. Anything that creates value independent of your time. Stop being the system's fuel. Become the system's architect. Chapter 14, The Simplicity Principle's Secret Number 14. Wealth building is simple. They make it seem complex to keep you dependent on their expertise. The financial industry thrives on complexity. Complicated terms, endless options, sophisticated strategies. This complexity serves one purpose: make you feel you need experts to manage your money. The truth? Wealth building is laughably simple. Spend less than you earn. Invest the difference in appreciating assets. Repeat for decades. That's it. But simple doesn't sell. Simple doesn't require expensive advisors. Simple doesn't generate management fees. So they've wrapped basic principles in layers of complexity to create dependency. Michael paid advisors 2% annually to manage his investments. Over 30 years, those fees cost him $300,000 in compound returns. His investments grew despite the fees. Without them, they would have grown substantially more. His neighbor Ruth used simple, low-cost index funds, spent 10 minutes per quarter rebalancing, and paid almost nothing in fees. Her returns beat Michael's despite far less sophistication. The investment industry doesn't want you to know that simple index investing beats actively managed funds 90% of the time. They want you to believe you need their complex strategies and high fees. This pattern repeats everywhere. Real estate investing is simple. Buy properties in good locations, rent them out, hold long term. But courses make it sound complicated to justify high prices. Business is simple. Solve a problem for people, charge more than it costs you, reinvest profits. But consultants make it complex to sell their services. The wealthy understand that complexity is often camouflage for average results. Simple strategies executed consistently outperform complex strategies executed inconsistently. Focus on fundamentals. Ignore noise. Execute basics with excellence. This boring approach builds extraordinary wealth. Stop searching for complex secrets. Master simple truths. Chapter 15. The Identity Shift, Secret Number 15. You will never become wealthy until you see yourself as wealthy. Identity precedes reality. This is the deepest secret, the foundation beneath all others. Your external reality is a mirror of your internal identity. If you see yourself as someone who struggles with money, you will create circumstances that validate that identity. If you see yourself as someone who builds wealth naturally, you will create circumstances that validate that identity instead. Your identity is a collection of beliefs about who you are. These beliefs were programmed through childhood, experience, and repetition. Most people never question them. They accept the identity they were given and live accordingly. Patricia grew up poor. Money was always scarce, always stressful, always a source of conflict. She absorbed an identity: I am someone who struggles financially. This identity shaped every decision. Job opportunities that could lead to wealth made her uncomfortable because they didn't match her identity. Success felt wrong because struggling felt normal. Unconsciously, she sabotaged progress to maintain identity alignment. Then she learned about identity shifting. She realized her poverty was not reality, it was programming. She began deliberately adopting a new identity: I am someone who creates wealth naturally. At first, It felt fake, like lying to herself. But she persisted. She started making decisions as if she already had wealth, investing even small amounts, choosing quality over cheap, turning down low-paying work to make space for better opportunities. Her external circumstances began shifting to match her new internal identity. Better opportunities appeared. Money came more easily. Confidence grew. Within 3 years, her income had tripled, and she owned her first investment property. The wealthy have an identity of wealth. They assume opportunities will appear. They expect success. They make decisions from abundance, not scarcity. This identity creates the reality that matches it. You must shift identity before you can shift circumstances. Start seeing yourself differently, not as someone who wants wealth, but as someone who creates wealth. Not as someone who struggles, but as someone who prospers. This shift happens through repetition, daily affirmations that reprogram belief, decisions that align with the new identity, surrounding yourself with people who reflect the identity you're building. It feels uncomfortable because you're growing into a new version of yourself, but discomfort is the price of transformation. Your current identity created your current results. A new identity will create new results. The choice is yours. Who will you decide to become? You now possess what they never wanted you to know. 15 classified secrets that separate the wealthy from everyone else. These are not theories. These are operational realities. Those who apply them prosper. Those who ignore them remain where they are. The question is not whether these secrets work. They work with mechanical precision. The question is whether you will act. Knowledge without application is just entertainment. You've been entertained by financial content before. This time must be different. This time, take action. Choose one secret from what you heard today. Just one. Commit to implementing it for the next 30 days. Master one before moving to the next. Depth beats breadth. Execution beats knowledge. I've created a free companion guide that breaks down all 15 secrets with specific action steps. You'll find the download link in the pinned comment below. Print it. Use it. Apply it. The system wants you distracted, broke, and dependent. These secrets are your weapons against that system. Use them. Your financial future is not determined by where you started, your education, or your current circumstances. It is determined by what you know and what you do with what you know. You now know. The only question is, what will you do? Delete this message from your mind is not possible. You cannot unsee the truth, but you can choose to act on it or return to comfortable ignorance. Make the choice. Take action. Build wealth. Your move